City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is your boy, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, man, Kenny Stubblefield in the building. We tired. The Grizzlies just got their ass smacked. We recording this whole at Tuesday night, about 11 o'clock p.m. We recording this thing. Cool show we got planned today, man. Got my guy that I met when I was covering games full-time for the Memphis Grizzlies, my guy, JR, the boss man out of Atlanta. I swear this brother in Memphis because he always here, man. He always here. But he's a real grinder. I appreciate him. I love his energy, man. He's going to talk about some stuff going on across the NBA, hopefully. We're going to talk about his views on the Memphis Grizzlies because he comes here and he covers Grizzlies games a lot. He's in the locker room checking out games. Want to get his perspective from a guy who's here, but not really. He ain't from here, so he ain't really covering the team like that. He's a Hawks reporter, but he'll slide down to Memphis sometimes and cover games.
So you're telling me that he gets a credential to games? And...
but I can't. Well, he probably never posted a picture of Taylor Jenkins looking like Osama bin Laden. Like he probably never did it.
It's a very good point. It's a
good point.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Good point.
We can say that now because Taylor Jenkins is no longer the coach, right?
Like, the reason why I have been covering games is because I posted a picture of Osama bin Laden, and the Grizzlies organization wasn't feeling it. They had a conversation with me.
They were not feeling that.
And I was like, hey, I don't come to games anyway, so if y'all want to take the credential, hey. Whatever. Long as my boy Paris can go and get to be the only somebody in the locker room recording shit. Which is still insane that like how little stuff comes out of those locker rooms. It's Paris.
You know people have started to post more things, right? Which I just want to say you're welcome to like every other media, like the media networks that are out there. Like I mean, just keep getting ideas. Like keep doing the things we're doing. That's fine.
Because Kenny, not only are our numbers as good or better than everybody's out here who's doing this, and I'm not gonna name some of the people who we're quadrupling their numbers, but I ain't gonna get into that type of stuff. But people do watch this show and they do copycat some of the stuff we talk about. So it's all good. I mean,
it's fine.
You're welcome, dog.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm glad y'all decided to actually like use the footage that y'all are actually having access. You have access to the locker room. Your phone is in your hand. Y'all are recording stuff, but we don't see it. Like, send the video, man. Send the video. But the Memphis Grizzlies lost tonight. A 19-point loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I will say this. Because of my job schedule, I miss a lot of Grizzly games. Or I only can barely watch it. I've realized that we lost every game to Oklahoma City Thunder. But this was the first time I've actually watched us play the Thunder.
Yeah.
Them dudes are good as shit, bro. Golly, bro. A big scoring point guard who can defend. An elite level shooting guard that can defend and he can knock down threes. A long, lanky, athletic scoring, passing lane getting in, a disruptive small forward in Jalen Williams. Holmgren is just a unicorn.
He's a unicorn.
And then you got Hardenstein, who's a big meat potato, go get all the rebounds, big.
Just does everything. Everything.
And then you got these other weird ass looking dudes that you bring out the bench. Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins,
bad body looking dudes.
Yeah, just funny looking ass dudes, bro. Like a black Chinese dude.
Yeah.
The other Jalen Williams, like then the first Jalen Williams, CJ Hurt looking ass dude. Like it's
then you got that Kendrick dude with the weird hair.
Man, like Kendrick Williams. You got Kassan Wallace, who's an athletic beast. That team, bro, good God. No little bitty dudes on the team, bro. Everybody's like 6'4", 6'5", and up.
You mean no Scottie Pippen Jr.? No Scottie Pippen Jr.'s out there trying to... We said this. We had a conversation about this at the beginning of the season. Like, it was kind of like Grizzlies fans were kind of feeling away about Oklahoma City, and they went out in the second round and lost last year, and everybody's like, they're a good regular season team.
What have they done?
What have they done? This kind of stuff. The Grizzlies are still right there with them, bro.
That team is good, bro.
They are historically good, bro.
Yeah, their numbers say that they are as good as any team you've ever seen. For real. That team is good. God, they're good, man.
They just don't make mistakes, Anthony. They do not.
And everything they do is like on the string, man. It's like, God, they're good, fam. I meant, man.
And they're young, and they're going to be around for a minute, bro.
They got plenty of draft picks, though.
They ain't going nowhere.
But I wouldn't do nothing if I was him, man. I wouldn't be out there talking about trading for no Kevin Durant or no, man. Them mugs are good, bro. Good God. Anyway, your Memphis Grizzlies are down 2-0. They're about to come back home on Thursday for Game 3. Jaren Jackson Jr. looked a lot better today. Ja was fine. Dez is okay. And it's like I was talking to Rusty Buckets about this in the pregame show, right? How it's like, okay, well, do you start Scottie Pippen Jr., who's been a good defender and defensive playmaker and all those type of things? And it's like, oh man, I wish we had Jalen Wells, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about just having maybe one or two wings or one with size in Jalen Wells, right? Man, Oklahoma City is throwing like 8 of them dudes at your ass, bro. They got about 6 to 8 guys like that, bro. Like that team is good God, bro. Like for a modern NBA team, the amount of 3-and-D versatile, switchable defenders they have, man, them dudes are a problem, man.
Sam Presti has basically created a masterclass of how to build a team from the bottom up because that's what they've had to do.
I had this conversation with I can't think of my guy's real name right now, but my guy that Draft and Stash on Twitter, my guy.
Right.
And we were talking about, like, he was like, well, is Zach Kleiman really good at drafting? And I was like, bro, come on now. Like, he's good at drafting.
Yeah.
The Thunder have had a lot of misses in that stretch as well. They had a lot of misses in that stretch. But they had a lot of picks as well. And the guys they landed on, they stuck with them. They trusted them. And it was – their team is really a bunch of – you got really good dudes in Jalen Williams and Shai and also in Chet, right? Then you just got some guys that are just some guys. They're just dudes, like guys that they got on the trash heap, good late first round picks, whatever. Aaron Wiggins, just a dude. Jalen Williams, a dude. Lou Dort was just a dude. Isaiah Joe, a trash heap type dude. And they turned these dudes into really good players. You know what I mean? Like that team is good God, bro. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't watching these other games, bro, them folks, who they had next? The Clippers, right?
Clippers.
They would get their ass up out of there, bro. I don't know. That Clippers team is good too. They'll slow you down.
If Kawhi does what he did in Game 2 of that series, if he continues that, they're gonna be tough.
Like Kawhi Jordan.
Whew.
But yeah, we'll see, man. But that team is good. We aren't good. We're looking horrible. We look like a disjointed team.
I'll say this though, Ant. I'll say this to you though. I watched the entire game and I was pissed off. Let me just tell you how bad I was pissed off about this game.
All right, go ahead.
I got like snippy with my 13-year-old daughter. Like I was just like,
I was the same way.
The hell out of my room, like because I was just frustrated because the problem is, and this is what kind of scared me about this game. Second, third, fourth quarter, probably like midway through the fourth quarter, the big three played well.
Together.
They played good.
They came out so ass,
the team played good. And it was that first quarter, obviously, which is just concerned. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you get historically smoked by 51 points. There's 4 teams that have been beat worse in the NBA playoffs since the beginning of the NBA.
And none before they started letting black people play.
Right. Like that was a historically embarrassing loss in that game 1. Yeah. And then you come out and you completely, like, I texted you during the middle of the game and I was like, these guys are playing like it's game 27 on a Tuesday night.
Regular ass Tuesday night game, yeah.
Like, what are they doing? And then second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, they played better and they still got smoked. Like, that's whew.
Yep. I'm going to say this, man. And we'll go to break. We got my guy, JR, the boss man, going to join us for the second segment of the show. And it will probably wrap it up just talking about what we could do going forward. Not this series. I heard a dude call in to the Grizzlies postgame show and say, I still got the Grizzlies in 6. I said, bro, in 6 years, maybe I might even give you 6 months. But nah, it's over. But I'll say this, man. And I'm not trying to kick a dead horse, but this team looks like a team that was allowed to and had a lot of bad habits. And I'll say this, bro. Bitch assness was allowed and is pouring through these dudes' veins for too long. I think that the 2021-22 season was a mirage. I don't think that was real. And I think a lot of the allegations that have been given to the Grizzlies, they're real, man. Front runner. You got to take that. We front runners.
Front runners, bro.
Soft, yes. Yeah, man. Like a lot of stuff, like when Draymond Green came out and said about the team having the DNA of the coach, it's Taylor Jenkins shit. And them dudes that's on the coach they've had. And they've kind of, it's a lot of soft, weak ass shit that's in this team, man. And like the whole thing of Ja and Jaren not being on the same page and not being able to run 2-man action.
Bro,
because Jaren can't set screens without fouling. That's something that should not have been should have been taken care of a long time ago, bro. I've as a single man, a single sex ass man like myself, right? I've dated a lot of women, and I've dated a lot of women who had kids, right? You date a lot of single mothers, right? You'll meet women who their kids like do some wild shit that you ain't never seen before. But it's like, all right, that's kind of they 14. like that's kind of what they're gonna do, bro. That's something you would have to do, get out of them when they were 2. But like it's like deep ingrained stuff. And I see that with the Grizzlies. Like it's a lot of stuff with us, like it's just weird basketball we play.
Yep.
And it's because we've been doing this stuff for so long. And whether it's Tomas Isolo or whoever you got as your coach next year, it's a lot of stuff going to have to get uprooted, like truly uprooted to get these guys to be whatever they're going to be. Now, whether it's a talent issue or all those type of things, we'll talk about that later on in the show. We're going to go ahead and take a break, man. Get my boy JR on. We're going to dig more into this type of stuff to see what they need to do going forward for the Grizzlies for this imminent offseason that is upon us, Kenny Stubblefield. We'll talk about that and more when we first got to get my boy JR, the boss man, on. Then we'll finish this conversation for the last segment of the show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
The national media is on our ass today. What's happening, bro? What is happening in the last 24 hours that we got the button pressed on us to say, tear them dudes' mouth out, in the media?
Well, I feel like we haven't helped ourselves. Yes, I feel like with the shit talking that we've done and the underperforming we've done in the playoffs, yes. But I feel like this comes to the territory that with the stigma that we unfairly have as a city and citizens of our city and people that represent the city.
We've only won playoff series, and you can bring up different scenarios. Why? Whether it be injury, Taylor Jenkins, Dylan Brooks, have at it. Depending upon if these guys don't come out, tomorrow with a renewed mind. I mean, we could be looking at that still being a fact pretty much going into year 8 for Jaren, 7 for Ja, and 6 for Desmond Bain.
Tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Jaren has unfairly caught the brunt of it. He did not play great in game 1. He's not been great down the stretch. But to pin this entire loss on Jaren when Dez was dribbling off his foot, Ja wasn't getting quite what he normally does. He was our leading scorer. He had a good game, but it wasn't a normal Ja game. I get calling Jaren out, but what's frustrating is that same energy is not there when Ja was down, right? You wanted to blame the coach and the organization and everybody around Ja, but you wouldn't hold Ja accountable. I love Ja Morant. He's awesome, and I think he's the best player on this team, but the energy is not the same. Jaren's been bad, absolutely. Jaren is an awesome player, and he's going to prove that tonight. Like, I think that our big three come out tonight in a big way, and it starts with Jaren. Again, I hope he hears all this criticism and he responds in a major way tonight.
Tune into The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. The gentleman who is joining me now, back in the day, I was an actual real journalist, right? I used to actually go to the Grizzly games and cover the game as a credentialed media member. I was a real journalist at one point. I used to cover the game. It was actually my day job. Shout out to my guy Adam in the comments on the YouTube lives that we do. It was actually my day job at one time.
Wow.
And during that time, I met this brother, and I'd always be like, man, who was the guy Like, I don't know who he is. I don't think he's from here. Like, he just be at the games. I talk to this brother all the time. I don't know who he is. Like, who is this dude, right? And like, he always come in and have me tripping. But like, I know he ain't. Like, I don't know what publication he with. And it's like, that's JR. So I got to meet JR, and he's an amazing brother out of Atlanta. He covers the Atlanta Hawks for the Bossman podcast down in Atlanta. I've been on this show. We've done things together. He did our NBA draft show together. But we keep saying, like, man, we're going to make something happen. We're going to make something happen. And I said, man, as soon as y'all bum ass get put out and our ass about to get put out too, we'll make this happen, bro. So my guy JR is in the building today. JR, what's going on, man?
Man, Sain, I am loving vacation. Friday was very happy for me. I enjoyed Friday. And I will be in Memphis this week to see the Grizzlies maybe go on vacation as well. So we'll both be in Cancun together.
Yeah, it's coming quickly for the Grizzlies.
Oh,
man.
yeah. I respect you, JR, because you kind of like me. Like, you're a dude who, you're a grinder. You got your own publication. You will go do a road trip out of your own pocket. Whatever. I'll write off of my taxes. Like, you ain't, like, you just be, you in Memphis all the time. Like, you're not an official Grizzlies media member, but you be here all the time with a media credential covering games. I love sitting by you, bro. We be tripping hard as hell because we talk about stuff on and off the court, basketball and non-basketball. It's always wild conversations, bro. But this is my guy. I really respect you, man. Like I do call you my Atlanta cousin for sure because you do remind me a lot of myself, the way that you do your thing down there. But something that we often talk about, like I've had this sense of peace, man, with the Grizzlies that I got a long time ago, where I kind of knew, like I knew where this season is going. I'm not stressing about losing by the 51 points. I'm not stressing about looking like we ain't got a big one, like look like we got a big 0.75. We got Ja and that's it. I don't think we got a big three. I think we got Ja and some of Ja sometimes. I don't know what we got. But this brother right here, man, was who I learned to have that peace to just say, you know what, bro, this shit about to be over, bro. And we'll talk about the rest later. And I got that from my guy JR. That is his philosophy about the Atlanta Hawks. When I was talking shit about the Atlanta Hawks on Twitter back in whatever year it was, y'all went to the conference finals. I remember you was like, bro, you ain't lying. That motherfucker's sorry. Like,
but it was the biggest fluke ever, and it backfired, as you see.
Yeah, and that's the thing I fear. Let's talk about that too. The Grizzlies are down 2 games to nothing to Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's the thing I fear the most with the Grizzlies. It's always been like giving up on what you have too soon. And like I get it, we're down 2-0 to what I think is a historically good team. I think the Thunder are good enough to win the whole thing. I think that in today's, because my guy Chris Ingram, host of No Bluffing podcast, he was like, man, these dudes are good, but it ain't like we playing the 96 Bulls. I'm like, bro, are we sure we're not playing the 96 Bulls? Because for today's NBA, that team is fucking perfect, bro. Oklahoma City Thunder has no holes. That team is extremely good, bro. So I'm like, we may be playing the 96 Bulls. But what I meant to say was, I looked at the Atlanta team, right? And they like rushed to just go get these vets and put these older guys around Trae Young. And they messed around and teams got hurt and they went to the conference finals, right? And then like they ain't even nowhere close to the conference finals since then, right? And it's like I told people, like, bro, sometimes you just gotta let your shit build organically, right? And I don't know what the Hawks would have been, but they still had to end up starting all over again with Trae Young. They got worse. You know, they got back into the lottery. They got Ricochet. They got Jalen Johnson. Like they're still rebuilding another version of the Hawks other than the one that when Trae Young first got here, right? And I look at teams like Phoenix that went to the NBA Finals. It's like, oh, it wasn't enough. Let's go get Kevin Durant. And oh, it wasn't enough. Let's go get Bradley Beal. And they never won anything. Now they're about to break that thing up again. And I look at things like that, and I look at the Grizzlies, and I look at people reminisce about this 2021-2022 season, right? Which is the first season we were the second seed in the West. And I'm like, bro, look at the context of what was going on that season. Everybody was hurt in the West, right? It seems like every team we played that was good, none of their best players were there, right? And it was just a weird, fluky season. We got in the playoffs. We beat Minnesota, which is probably the only team in the playoffs we would have beat. And that team was extremely immature at the time. We got to pass that series. We lost to Golden State. And it's like caused this weird thing like, okay, we're a team that's on the verge of winning a championship. Let's go all in to win a championship. And in reality, we were 21 years old. Like our best players were 21. Like you ain't gonna win shit. Like, and we probably weren't that good in 2021-22. Because I hear people say things like, "Well, Zach Kleiman, we had a good team, and we lost guys. He didn't replace the guys we had." I'm like, bro, you're talking about Kyle Anderson. You're talking about the Anthony Melton, two dudes that are barely in the league. Steven Adams, God bless him, he's playing his ass off for the Houston Rockets, but he's not their starting center. He's playing like 15 minutes a game. You know what I mean? Dylan Brooks, love him too. Love the things he's doing in Houston. But the Houston team is about to get beat by an even older Golden State Warriors team, right? Like, and it's not like we lost world beaters. But I look at this Grizzlies team, and the thing I fear what Atlanta did. I fear what Phoenix did. But with the Grizzlies, I honestly don't know what they need to do. That's something we're going to talk about in the next segment as far as what the Grizzlies need to do going forward. But being someone on the outside looking in and someone who watched this Atlanta team go to a conference finals. We didn't go to nobody's conference finals. We went to the second round, and we lost to Golden State. You guys went to the Eastern Conference Finals, a series away from going to the championship. When you look at this Grizzlies team, do you think this is a team that needs to do things dramatically, or do you think they need to make small changes around what they have? Like, what do you see as someone not really? You're on the outside looking in, but you've been to games. You're a credentialed Grizzlies media member when you visit Memphis. So, what do you think from what you see?
Man, Sain, I'm worried about your financials, first of all, because Jaren Jackson Jr.'s contract is going to determine a lot of what you can and cannot do with this second apron coming in here now, right? And Desmond Bane's on a 5-year, $197 contract. That's looking terrible right now with the aprons right now, right?
Yeah.
I don't see Desmond Bane as a impact player, my guy. I'm just being real. Like, you have Ja Morant, who I can go and say, gonna give a night and do what I can. But we saw when Desmond Bane was out playing the Hawks, remember, on that infamous March night. And in the fourth quarter, he couldn't dribble the ball and lost that game against Atlanta. You know, we ain't good defensively. So they exposed Bane even more to me that with this new apron thing and Jaren Jackson's contract, I don't know about him being on the roster full time going forward. And going to pay Santi Aldama, I like him personally. I love talking to him in the locker room. But I'm not giving this dude 4 years and $60 million. No, I'm not doing that. So I feel like you have to find better role players that fit around Triple J and Ja Morant, and you might have to use Desmond Bane's contract to do that because I don't think Pera and Kleiman want to pay the luxury tax in Memphis. So, and I'm glad you got Pippen on a great deal, Jackson on a great deal, Zach Edey, some great young talent, but you need solid role players that are vets that fit better than Marcus Smart does. And giving up all them picks for Smart, 3 first-round picks out for Smart, who's now in hell in Washington, climbing a miss there. Now, you know, transparency, I'm cool with y'all former coach. Yeah. So, did he have some flaws? Yes. But the roster's also flawed as well. So,
hold on. Before people start thinking you capping, you flogging. Taylor Jenkins was an assistant coach when you were with the organization back then. So
yes,
yeah, right.
Yes.
So that, you ain't just saying I'm cool with Taylor Jenkins. Like there's a reason why you're cool with Taylor Jenkins. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he was with Atlanta Hawks assistant coach on the coach book, but they went to Milwaukee. So that's why I can say that with Taylor Jenkins, somebody I have a relationship with, just being transparent. But he has flaws, all right, and the roster has flaws, but. I just looking at the second apron situation in Memphis and how y'all don't really pay the tax, and when the Hawks don't pay the tax, you got to sacrifice somebody to build a roster and use that slot to improve. That's Desmond Bane's contract, and I don't think he's a big three guy. He's a good player that's overpaid in this new CBA. He's really overpaid, and I just don't see him being what y'all need because I feel like you don't know what you're gonna get, and his dribbling, his ball playmaking skills to me are lacking. So build around a big two of, if you want to call it that, Ja and Jaren, and build out what fits around them. Playing offense that suits them both together, not trying to run two different ones at one time.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm looking at too, because I was thinking about it, like, okay, there's nobody in the league that's a good team that's built the way that we are. Like, our starting lineup is just wonky. Like, it's just weird, bro. Like, you got two guards, and neither one of them are good defenders. Like, you look at that Oklahoma City Thunder team, right? They played Lou Dort as their shooting guard. Lou Dort was their starting small forward before Jalen Williams got there, right? Now they got Lou Dort, who's a high-level defender at the 2, and he's developed a 3-point shot over time. But you're talking about just a high-level defender being in the backcourt with SGA, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 guys who neither one of them are good defenders. You know what I mean? But then you got Jalen Williams, who's a 6'8", 6'9", super versatile, super athletic wing. And that was my first time really just watching Jalen Williams' game. That little fun-looking dude, he ugly as shit. That little dude, man, that dude is hooping, bro. That dude is a killer, bro. Because I grew up, Scottie Pippen was one of my favorite players in the league. Bro, that dude looks like, that dude game is eerily like Scottie Pippen's game back in the day, for real. But like that Thunder team is really, really good. Like you said, to your point, man, like Dez, you just don't see teams that are built like that. The closest thing to it is Cleveland, but he ain't Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like, they've got another backcourt that's like 2 scoring guards. But no, he ain't Donovan Mitchell, though. You know what I mean? I think that if it came down to it, Dez would be the guy I would try to trade to get some roster upgrades. Because I hear people saying, like, the buzzwords people are saying are like, Santi Aldama sign and trade. But it's like, bro, somebody's got to actually want Santi. And they got to actually want him more than the guy that we're trying to get rid of. You know what I mean? That we're asking to get rid of. Like, you know, that's what it all boils down to. And I don't really know what Santi's value is. You know what I mean? But enough about the Grizzlies. We did enough talking about that already in the first segment. But I definitely want to hear your opinion coming from a team that shares equal frustrations of not being good enough, but also not being terrible. Because y'all are the play-in kings.
The Atlanta Hawks Invitational, brother.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks Invitational.
Just being real.
Y'all got a permanent spot to play in, bro. It's
coming. Man, what you say?
It's coming. Y'all in
Chicago.
Y'all Chicago and Jonas Valanciunas, they gonna be in the play-in every year.
It should be called. You should get the Trae Young Award for MVP of the play-in tournament.
MVP, yeah.
The Trae Young Award.
All right, so let's switch over to the Eastern Conference, right? This Detroit Pistons team, what are your thoughts about them? They're currently 1-1 with the New York Knicks. That team is good, man. And like that's another team too. Because I had that conversation on Twitter. I asked long questions, bro. I'm sorry. I got to talk before I get to the question.
Are you good, brother?
Like, you look at Detroit, right? Detroit is a team who's been bad for a long time. And they tried to do this hybrid young guys, let's get some vets around them. They had the wrong vets around them. Seems like they got some good vets around them now. But that team really doesn't have much youth on it. That team is like a couple of young dudes, and the rest is just veteran players. But how far can you go with a team that's built like that when most of your team, you didn't draft them? They're just guys that you kind of acquired over time. Like, it kind of makes you wonder what's the ceiling for a Detroit team. And I'm sorry, Brad. I don't know if it's an emotional attachment to the Grizzlies or whatever, but I don't want to wake up and the Grizzlies are like 8 new dudes. They ain't never been on this team. Like, I don't know, bro. I just, maybe call me weird for that, but I just think that model just don't work in the NBA. I don't know.
Nah, you're right, brother. And 2 guys on that roster I know very well, Dennis Schroeder and THJ, former Atlanta Hawk players, know him very, very well. And Victor
Tim Hardaway Jr. did start with y'all. He started with y'all, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Paid him 4 years, $71 million. And he got to trade him to the New York Knicks.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
That was signed by GM Bud, who's now fired, making $40 million for Phoenix. But yeah,
damn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that roster right there, I think what Trajan Langdon did and was to try to build a roster up there in Detroit to kind of help the young guys like Duran played at U of M for you guys in Memphis. Get Kay Cunningham, when the Ivy kid gets healthy, kind of show them the way of how to win, how to be professionals. And just so happened, they overachieved like crazy this year. Detroit was supposed to tank this year, but they didn't. They came together. They went and got Beasley, Schroeder, paid Tobias Harris, a nice contract to babysit pretty much, and it worked out for them. And this saying, go back to what you said about the Hawks going to the conference finals. They playing Tom Thibodeau, a man who makes no adjustments. Like, the man let Trae Young hide on Reggie Bullock the whole series, okay? Never put him in a pick and roll action, never. He don't block the whole series. So what I'm saying? And love to play drop coverage, which what? Trae Young kills that. What does Kay Cunningham kill too, Sain and Kenny? Drop coverage. So they have the right matchup with a guy who makes no adjustments, plays for too many minutes, and Detroit can win because he's so stubborn in his ways about how he wants to play from the 90s still.
Mm-hmm.
So Detroit, while being a mismatch of, different timelines, can upset the Knicks because of coaching and philosophy.
Yeah.
Now he was more of a switch 1 through 5 and get up in the people and not play drop coverage, then he could be a little ball of trouble. But let Cade get downhill, let Dennis Schroeder get downhill, draw defense in, kick out for threes. But Beasley and those guys who are wide open, Ron Holland, those guys as well. Isaiah Stewart when he plays, and B-ball Paul Reed played good last night. But they're third center. So I'm just saying, bro, the Pistons are a mismatched team, but they're going for cap space, using veteran contracts because we be at the floor now in this new CBA. Get to get the floor here. So all them guys will be there next year, but it helped these young guys experience a playoff run. What it means to play meaningful games, it will help this franchise going forward. You hear my man Mason Latague on Detroit basketball.
Yeah. I just think, like, I don't know, man. I know people probably gonna be killing me in the comments. Have your way in the comments if you disagree. But like, it's just, I just don't think that's real, man. It seems like the exact same thing the Hawks did. Like, they had a young team that's surrounded with a bunch of vets. They were good enough to be like a 4th, 5th seed in the East. They made a decent run. Detroit ain't finna win nobody championship. And then it's like, you're going to do this all over again. It's like, and I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're good, but I don't know, man. But like, I don't know. I keep saying I'm done talking about the Grizzlies, but we down 2 games to nothing, All right, so switch over. The Indiana Pacers look like they're about to get Milwaukee up out of here. Is that Milwaukee team done? Like, what are they going to do? What is Giannis going to do? Because that team ain't getting no younger. I don't know how they add talent to their team. We might have a slightly used Desmond Bain for them if they want him. But what does the offseason look like for the Milwaukee Bucks, who look like they're about to get swept against
Let me shout out one person saying, shout out associate head coach of the Pacers, Lloyd Pierce. LP, I love you, brother. I'm sorry individual got you fired. You still my guy. You my
former Hawks coach, former Grizzlies assistant coach, former Atlanta Hawks head coach, Lloyd Pierce. Yeah.
Shout out to Lloyd Pierce. But Sain and Kenny, man, look, the Bucks are old. And this Dame Giannis pairing is a little bit too late. And I'd rather have the shell of Chris Middleton than Kyle Kuzma's crazy self out there.
Why did they do that, bro? Why did they do that? Anyway, go ahead.
Let me tell you why, Sain, to duck the second apron. That's why.
Yep.
The guy on second apron. This whole season is crazy, brother. That's what that was about.
The second apron need to win Defensive Player of the Year because that man shutting everybody's team down.
Man, look, and shout out to Dave Yeager, somebody I know very, very, very well. Joe Prunty, former Hawks interim head coach, and Darvin Ham, former Hawk assistant as well, and TP, Territorial Prince, and somebody from basketball camp, Doc Rivers, who can't coach. I love you, Def Doc, you can't coach. But man, hey, look, brother. It's just a bad roster. They can't defend anybody on the perimeter. And what do the Pacers do? They play with 5 out, pace and space with concepts. You got Halliburton, who's a front runner, who's overrated. I don't like the dude, but he's a front runner. You know what I'm saying? He talks mad junk when he's up ahead. When he gets down, he quiet as a church mouse. Reminds me of some other point guard I know. I ain't gonna name no names, but whatever. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they run this Siakam. You know what I'm saying? They got Miles Turner who wear weird clothes, but he plays great though with his weird clothes he wears. But the Bucks cannot stop anybody saying that's the problem. And Damian can only do so much. Giannis can do so much. And Portis is going to do so much as well. It's an old roster. Rick Lopez, it's time to go. Is he over the hill? It's just a bad match. Another guy who don't make adjustments, Sain and Kenny, Doc Rivers. So I expect Milwaukee to win maybe game 3, lose game 4, then go to Indiana next week and lose in game 5. And does Doc Rivers get fired? Because Adrian Griffin was got fired after 40-some games or whatever. You know what I mean? And does Giannis say, I'm out of here? Because they'll tell John Horst to make that move. If they go out in 5 games with him and playing, or does he say, well, Dame had blood clots, so I really couldn't really know who he got. The roster's aging and old. It's not going to win anything. Let it go. It's over.
Well, man, I got one final question for you, man. You've seen a lot of head coaches. You've seen a lot of interim head coaches. You've seen a lot of new head coaches, first-year coaches in Atlanta, all those type of things. Take a look at this Grizzlies situation. Interim head coach Tuomas Isalo. Even though the Grizzlies are down 2-0 against the 96 Bulls, Oklahoma City Thunder, Do you see something in him because I know you know a coach's eye. Like that's something just my conversation with you. You know coaching, you know scheme, you know strategy. What do you see something in Tomas Isolo that the Grizzlies say, hey, regardless of all these things that happen, give that guy a shot with this team in the offseason, give him his camp, all those type of things? Or do you think he's just a guy who's not fit to be an NBA head coach right now?
Well, right now he's not fit to be one right now. In due time, maybe, but you don't have time to waste. You know what I'm saying? I like his rotations. He's cut down to eight or nine guys. If a dude ain't doing it, he ain't. I love Taylor Jenkins to death, but he's somebody stubborn. That comes from working for Coach Bud. He's stubborn the same exact way. So don't fault him there. Taylor Jenkins was stubborn because he worked for Coach Bud, who's stubborn, right? Who believes in his guys like that. He's top tier guys. Thomas Isolo is trying to make adjustments on the fly. You know, I feel like he waits long to call timeout sometimes. He doesn't play through it too much. But the Grizzlies don't have a year to waste on this Morant Jackson timeline. You got to decide you don't give John Morant an extension or not. Or does he want to be there or not, right? So I would go in a different direction. But you pay so much money to get him from this European team, paying him 6 to 7 figures to be an assistant coach here. So I think just on pride alone, I don't know for sure. I'll find out more when I come there this week. I do believe Zach Kleiman's gonna give him the job just to say he's right. You know what I'm saying? Not because he deserved it. Just I'm right, and I gotta make this guy be right. So I don't look like a fool for doing what I did based on some of the trades I've made, and I firing Jenkins, and the bottom falls out. So. That's how I see it. I mean, the guy has a great basketball mind, scheme wise. I just think he's ready for this NBA spotlight right now.
Yeah, I can see some of that. I think he's a good coach, but he's in a weird position, man. Because we're a team that's like either we're gonna bust a move towards winning a championship or we're not. You know what I mean? Like in the next few years or not. But my thing I do say in his defense is, if you look at guys, even historically, like the over-the-hump coaches, right? The guy who came in, they fired this guy who'd been there for a while, then they bring in this coach to come in and get him over the hump. It's been the Tomas Isolo type dudes. Phil Jackson was a first-time head coach. Steve Kerr was a first-time head coach, right? Nick Nurse was a first-time head coach. All these guys who were brought in to be that over-the-hump guy. It's been a first-year head coach, man, who's had some pro playing experience and kind of know the game. Got a new spin on things. Has always been that dude. Like most of the time when teams hire that dude to be the guy to get them over the hump, it ain't the vet. It ain't the guy who's been around for a minute. So it's so many things, but it's gonna be an interesting offseason for sure for the Grizzlies. We'll talk about that and more when we come back from the break. But my guy JR, the boss man, bro, how can we check you out, man? How can we check out your stuff, man? You are like the energy you bring, bro. Like I want it. I love what you do, man. How can we check you out in the future, bro?
Man, brother, I'm on Bossman Show on Instagram. Go be there. YouTube, Bossman Show, BossmanShow.com. Every podcast you got there is there for you as well. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on iTunes, all that good stuff. Bossman going to bring you best interviews I can with energy, passion, knowledge, because I play ball too. So I know what I'm talking about. I ain't telling you garbage. And I make connections with people. Despite how sometimes folks try to hold your boy back, not let him do certain things, I get stuff done. All right, Daddy, I get the damn job done, brothers. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. I hear you. This is my guy.
Hey, the link for the Bossman Show's in the description below. So check that out. It's the first thing on there. So
yes, sir. My guy, JR the Boss Man. He covers the Atlanta Hawks. But he also don't give a damn. He can't wait till the season over. Hey, this man be talking about, but I can't wait till this shit over. First game of the season.
and you know this, man.
All right, bro. We'll see you, man.
All right, hold it down.
All right, my guy. We're about to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be more to Anthony Sain Show. We're going to figure out how we're going to fix this shit, kid. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. That and more. We'll come back to Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
The national media is on our ass today. What's happening, bro? What is happening in the last 24 hours that we got the button pressed on us to say, tell them dudes mouth out, in the media?
Well, I feel like we haven't helped ourselves. Yes, I feel like with the shit talking that we've done and the underperforming we've done in the playoffs, yes. But I feel like this comes to the territory that with the stigma that we unfairly have as a city and citizens of our city and people that represent the city.
We've only won playoff series, and you can bring up different scenarios, why, whether it be injury, Taylor Jenkins, Dylan Brooks, have at it. Depending upon if these guys don't come out, tomorrow with a renewed mind. I mean, we could be looking at that still being a fact pretty much going into year 8 for Jaren, 7 for Ja, and 6 for Desmond Bain.
Tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Jaren has unfairly caught the brunt of it. He did not play great in game 1. He's not been great down the stretch. But to pin this entire loss on Jaren when Dez was dribbling off his foot, Ja wasn't getting quite what he normally does. He was our leading scorer. He had a good game, but it wasn't a normal Ja game. I get calling Jaren out, but what's frustrating is that same energy is not there when Ja was down, right? You wanted to blame the coach and the organization and everybody around Ja, but you wouldn't hold Ja accountable. I love Ja Morant. He's awesome, and I think he's the best player on this team, but the energy is not the same. Jaren's been bad, absolutely. Jaren is an awesome player, and he's going to prove that tonight. Like, I think that our big three come out tonight in a big way, and it starts with Jaren. Again, I hope he hears all this criticism and he responds in a major way tonight.
Tune into The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Edge of the Sain Show. Shout out to my guy, JR the Bossman, man. That guy is a hilarious dude, man.
Whew.
I know my guy, Evan Hayes, who is a fellow fast talking ass dude, probably like, oh man. And they said I couldn't do it.
They said I couldn't do it. They said I couldn't make it.
It says no room for me.
I'm like, man, it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting here going, this man's got so much energy, bro.
Oh man, it's been like he ain't going to bed at all.
Yep.
Like he about to watch this whole Lakers Minnesota game and then just start talking about that too. But I like a lot of stuff he said, man. The Grizzlies do have to be careful because one of the points he was making, he didn't really make this point, but I'm going to break down what I think he was trying to say. He was trying to say in a small market, you have to be careful with who you're spending money on.
Yes.
And I know that here you kind of have to overspend to show that loyalty to your guys, but that Desmond Bain deal is going to look bad, bro. I don't think that Jaren is going to get the Supermax. He's not going to be all NBA.
Right.
That ain't happening. But you are going to have to pay Jaren. You have to do an extension for him that's going to make sense. But that Desmond Bain deal does paying 3 max players in a city where you're not number 1, you're not number 2 in the West. It doesn't really make sense. And it's crazy because I've been sitting on this whole Desmond Bain needs to come off the bench. I've been sitting on it and not saying it for a while. And then when I started trying to sneak it in, everybody was, like, what idiot thinks you need to start Desmond Bain? And now you got a lot of people who are saying we probably need to trade Desmond Bain. I was like, oh, wait, hold on, slow down. Oh, I didn't even say that. You know what I mean? But, bro, I'm not.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, man, Jalen Wells is just starting 2 guard in his team. And then there's another dude at the 3.
Yep.
In a perfect world, that's Gigi Jackson, if he's good. If Gigi takes a leap and can give you 15 points a game, that's what your team is really supposed to look like. Or you could trade Desmond Bain and go get some other dudes.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the Brandon Clark injury kind of expedited that conversation about Desmond Bain's contract? Because you're talking about assets, right? Like you don't know.
Yeah.
You got no assets in terms of tradable contracts outside of Desmond.
None. Because Clark's contract is great, but not if he ain't playing. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be questionable, man, to see how the whole thing works. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, and we'll wrap this thing up, man. Just being for real. The Grizzlies have to decide what they want to do.
Yep.
And they have to decide, okay, are we good enough? And I'll tell you, y'all, we not, bro. This shows us how far we are away from the good teams.
Really far away.
And if Tomas Islo is your coach, I hear people say things like, well, like his offense sucks, and I'm like, bro, this is the same shit we've been doing for 6 years. Like, this is the same stuff. Like, this is not his stuff. If he's gonna come in, he's gonna have to uproot all this stuff, and something is just gonna have to change, man. A Jaren 2-man game is going to have to be a thing. Like, if you're gonna keep Jaren, you're gonna keep Ja, you have to run plays and make those two guys look good and play together. Like, it has to be more fluid. They just seem too disjointed, seem too disconnected with the way they play. And you just have to find a way to make things, better around those two dudes. Go ahead, bro.
I think on even a smaller level is the only guard on this team that actually knows how to pass the ball to Jaren in the post is Ja.
Right.
Like, shout out Scottie Pippen Jr. for all the work that he's put in getting the contract. He deserves it. He deserved that contract. But my God, him and Desmond Bane, they do not know how to feed the post, and it is at all. And and so when you have to have Ja in the game just to even get the ball to Jaren in the post, not only on top of that, be able to use them in a 2-man game, because they did it one time today in game 2. They did it one time and it ended in a Jaren 3-pointer. Like, it works. Like, those guys can do it, right? Like, you've seen what it did to Zach Edey's game when they got him and John a 2-man. The tide, the rising tide that lifts all the boats for this team is Ja Morant, right? Like, when he's out there on the court, man, they play a lot better, and you got to figure out a way to make that work with him and Jaren. And I just don't see it with Desmond anymore. Like, I saw it for a while, but I don't see it now. I don't see it. I don't see him, the future of him being with this team. I'll just be frank about it. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Like, I just don't see it. And that don't mean he's not a really good player.
He's a great player.
He can't be. No, we've got to have the third best player on this team needs to be somebody that's a perimeter defender. Like, he needs to be somebody that's actually that can go out there and lock dudes down. And Desmond's game is very flawed when it comes down to a lot of things, just being honest. But he's a great scorer, great shooter. I just think that role is too much for him. The Grizzlies got to identify some dudes, man. Like, they got to identify who they want to keep, who they don't want to be around. And I think anything that involves you doing anything that's stressing you out, like paying for Santi Aldama, is dumb. Like that dude is a turd, man. And it's so crazy, bro. I think go back to the things that I've seen. I've had like real long ass discussions with people about. And this is so crazy, bro. I remember the beginning of the season. And you know this too. There was years of conversation about Marcus Smart starting, right? He's too little, man. He's too little. No, he's too little, man. He's too little. We are starting Scottie Pippen Jr. in playoff games.
We're starting fourth quarters with Marvin Bagley Jr., John Conchar, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Luke Kennard playing.
Oh, man. Like, there's been a lot of crazy stuff that has led to that being the case, right? And I'll say this right here, man. If the most disappointing thing to me this season has been the mishandling of Zach Edey, and how Taylor Jenkins did not use him the way he did not use the manufacturer's instructions when using Zach Edey. That bothers me. But the fact that Gigi Jackson's season has been a turd has really got me down, because I still believe in Gigi, bro. I still believe that if he was healthy, came into camp like that, had time to really get his mind right to realize, man, I have to play a role in this team. And I think he came in, think he just had to do so much, and instead of being able to gradually fit into his role. I think that those two factors, and the fact that your GM was banking on him to be that dude to the point where he got rid of anything in a way to stop him from being that dude, and he wasn't ready for the responsibility that was given him. Those type of things kill you, on top of your GM and your coach, being petty towards the whole.
In a lot of ways, though, we can sit here and we can say, Gigi came in and obviously had the injury, lost the majority of the season to that injury. You said something that I think is key, and it harkens back to conversations we've had with Brevin Knight on this show. Brevin Knight was a legitimate, wherever he played, he could score and score and score and score and score. But this
when he put that logo on, when he put that jersey on,
right?
He did what the team need him to do.
He had a role, and that role was clearly stated to him by the coach. This is what we need you to do. The fact that Gigi came into the season thinking that he needed to do a lot, to me, is not a blame on him. it's a blame on the coaching staff
and the organization.
And the organization not outlining to him, this is what your role is going to look like. This is how we're going to best be able to utilize you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the injury created a massive issue for him, but my hope is that whoever is the coach, whether it's T.I., whether it's whoever it may be, is that these guys come in with clear stated roles. Like Gigi has a role. You're not surprised by that. This is we're hearing a lot of conversation about, this, should the Grizzlies, like, this sucks getting beat this bad. Like the Grizzlies should have just, stayed with that 14th pick and stayed out of the playoffs, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as playoff scars, but then at the same time, you're really kind of being sifted through the fire right now with this roster.
And you need to see, okay, bro, we are ass. Like, we're not good enough. We're not.
Who's real and who's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is real on this roster and who is not.
Mm-hmm.
And the scary part is we are learning a lot of the folks on this roster are not real, bro.
Oh, man, it hurt your feelings to see it. Santi, I remember saying when we were heavy in this Cam Johnson thing, right? And they were saying Brooklyn wanted a young prospect. I remember saying, okay, bro, Santi Aldama could be that young prospect.
Right.
Oh, the responses I got from that. Trey Santi. Oh, Santi's better than Cam Johnson right now. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But, man, it's going to be – this is not the only time we're going to do the time to talk next season. Of course, we're going to do that very soon.
During the offseason.
Yeah.
And probably next week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real conversation, man. And like I said, if Robert Parrish watching this at the house while he's getting a back rub by, he's getting the Asian massage or whatever he's doing, and he's watching these games and whatever, he says, man, you know what? I think I'm about to fire Zach Kleiman. If that's the case, you do what you need to do, and we'll see how this whole thing plays out, man. Or you say, I want a real coach or whatever you want to do. We'll see how the whole thing plays out. But I think it feels like something major needs to happen for this roster to get to the next level. But we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing plays out. Well, Kenny, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Shout out to you, of course. Shout out to my man, JR the Boss Man. And also, man, shout out to the Bluff City Media team. We've had 3 awesome watch parties so far at Ghost River Brewing Company. Thank them for allowing us to host those there for these last 3 games. Probably won't see another one, Kenny Stubblefield. This thing probably is not going back Low City.
We're probably gonna chill on.
We're probably gonna chill the watch parties, man. Yeah. But shout out to my boy Rusty Buckets, who's been working his ass off. Yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody been doing their thing. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy season for the home team. But the Bluff City Media team has gotten stronger and better. Kenny Stubblefield. We got some guys who are becoming vets on the fly, man. I feel like in the whole equation, I'm the I don't know. I feel like Kevin Durant or somebody on this team, man.
With a better hairline.
Well, but not much. Better grade of hair for sure.
There you go.
Better grade of hair for sure. But yeah, it's good to see the young guys on the team is stepping up, man. Like we've really been doing our thing. Like I said, continue to support Bluff City Media, man. Subscribe, share the videos. We got a lot of more things coming for you guys. And if you're watching the show, you enjoy it. The numbers are increasing. If you want us to help you advertise your brand, your company, your organization, man, hit us up, man. We got some spaces for you. Got some people we've been talking to. Next month, you should see some stuff. You should see some people who are jumping on board with what we're trying to do as far as branding is concerned and advertising is concerned. But you won't find a better deal, better than what you see here at Bluff City Media. But for Kenny Stubblefield, this your boy Anthony Sain. Shout out to my boy JR the Boss Man. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.